Welcome, dear listeners, to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the annals of time, uncovering the secrets of our shared human experience. Today, we find ourselves in the midst of medieval England, surrounded by the intrigue and bloodshed of the War of the Roses. This tumultuous period, which ravaged the English landscape from 1455 to 1487, was a clash of mighty houses, a struggle for the throne that would leave an indelible mark on the nation's history. As we delve into the origins of this conflict, let us transport ourselves to the lush countryside of 15th century England, where the gentle rustle of leaves and the soft chirping of birds belie the turmoil that was to come. It is here, amidst the rolling hills and verdant forests, that the seeds of discord were sown. The year was 1422, and the Lancastrian king, Henry V, had recently passed away, leaving behind a young son, Henry VI, to inherit the throne. The boy king's minority would prove to be a catalyst for the conflict, as powerful nobles like Humphrey, Duke of Gloucester, and Bedford, Regent of France, vied for control of the government. The Lancastrian dynasty, which had ruled England since 1399, faced significant challenges in maintaining its power. The 100 Years' War with France had left England exhausted and divided, creating an environment in which rival factions could flourish. The powerful Neville family, with their stronghold in the north, would play a significant role in this conflict, as would the Beaufort family, whose influence extended far beyond the palace walls. In 1447, Richard Dut, Duke of York, began to assert his claim to the throne, citing his descent from Edward III. This challenge to the Lancastrian dynasty was met with resistance, and the stage was set for a protracted conflict. The First Battle of St. Albans, fought on May 22, 1455, would prove to be a pivotal moment in this struggle, as the Yorkists emerged victorious, setting the stage for a bloody and devastating war. As we explore the earliest history of the War of the Roses, we find ourselves drawn into a complex web of alliances and rivalries, of noble families and ancient grudges. The Queen, Margaret of Anjou, would play a significant role in this conflict, as she sought to protect her husband's interests and secure the throne for her son, Edward Dut. The rise of powerful nobles, like Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick, would also shape the course of the war, as he navigated the treacherous waters of medieval politics. We must consider the impact of the 100 Years' War on the English economy and society, which had left deep scars and created an environment in which the rival factions could flourish. The decline of the feudal system and the rise of a wealthy and influential middle class would also contribute to the tensions that led to the War of the Roses. And so, dear listeners, we have reached the threshold of this tumultuous period, where the fate of England hung precariously in the balance. Join me, if you will, as we embark on this journey into the heart of medieval England, where the red and white roses would forever change the course of a nation's destiny. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we continue our journey through the annals of time, exploring the intricacies of the War of the Roses. As we delve deeper into this tumultuous period, we find ourselves amidst the pivotal events that shaped the conflict, a clash of mighty houses that would leave an indelible mark on England's history. The year 1459 marked a significant turning point in the war, as the Yorkists, led by Richard Dut, Duke of York, and his son Edward, Earl of March, began to gain momentum. The Battle of Northampton, fought on July 10, 1460, saw the Yorkists emerge victorious, capturing King Henry VI and establishing a new government with Richard, Duke of York, as Lord Protector. However, this triumph was short-lived, as Queen Margaret of Anjou rallied the Lancastrian forces and defeated the Yorkists at the Battle of Wakefield on December 30, 1460. The rise of Edward IV, who would become one of the most powerful monarchs in English history, began to take shape during this period. His victory at the Battle of Towton, on March 29, 1461, cemented his position as King of England, and he went on to establish a strong and efficient government. The Yorkist dynasty had finally gained control of the throne, but their grip on power was tenuous at best. As we explore this period, we find ourselves drawn into a complex web of alliances and rivalries, of noble families and ancient grudges. The powerful Neville family, with their stronghold in the north, continued to play a significant role in the conflict. Richard Neville, Earl of Warwick, also known as the Kingmaker, would switch allegiances multiple times, ultimately leading to his downfall. The Battle of Barnet, fought on April 14, 1471, saw Edward IV emerge victorious, and Warwick was killed in the battle. This marked a significant turning point in the war, as the Yorkists had finally consolidated their power. The subsequent Battle of Tewkesbury on May 4, 1471, saw the Lancastrian forces defeated once again, and Edward IV's position as king was secured. As we navigate the intricate landscape of medieval politics, we find that the War of the Roses was not just a simple struggle for the throne, but a complex interplay of noble families, ancient grudges, and shifting alliances. The legendary figures of this period, such as Edward IV, Richard Neville, and Margaret of Anjou, left their mark upon the landscape of history. As Margaret of Anjou so aptly put it, "The king's wife is not the queen, but the queen's husband is not the king." This sentiment captures the essence of the power struggle that defined the War of the Roses. The women of this period, often overlooked in historical accounts, played a significant role in shaping the course of events. As we reach the pinnacle of this tumultuous period, we find ourselves in awe of the achievements and events that shaped the War of the Roses. The mighty armies that clashed, the legendary figures who left their mark upon history, and the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined the conflict all contribute to a rich tapestry of historical significance. Join me, if you will, as we embark on the final chapter of this epic tale, where the red and white roses would forever change the course of a nation's destiny. Welcome back to History with Herodotus, where we conclude our journey through the annals of time, exploring the decline and legacy of the War of the Roses. As we delve into the final act of this tumultuous period, we find ourselves amidst the pivotal events that shaped the conflict's conclusion and the lasting impact it had on England's history. The year 1485 marked a significant turning point in English history, as Henry Tudor, a distant relative of the Lancastrian kings, landed in Wales with a small army. He was determined to claim the throne, which he believed was rightfully his. The Battle of Bosworth Field, fought on August 22, 1485, saw Henry Tudor's forces emerge victorious, and King Richard III, the last Plantagenet king, was killed in the battle. This marked the end of the Plantagenet dynasty and the beginning of the Tudor era. The rise of the Tudors had a profound impact on English history, as they established a strong and efficient government, which would go on to shape the country's destiny for centuries to come. Henry VII, as he became known, married Elizabeth of York, uniting the red and white roses and ending the conflict that had ravaged England for so long. The War of the Roses also had a lasting impact on the English monarchy, as it led to the development of a more centralized and powerful state. The Tudor monarchs, particularly Henry VIII, would go on to consolidate their power, establishing the Church of England and breaking away from Rome. This, in turn, would have far-reaching consequences for English society, politics, and culture. As we reflect on the legacy of the War of the Roses, we are reminded that this conflict was not just a simple struggle for the throne, but a complex interplay of noble families, ancient grudges, and shifting alliances. The legendary figures of this period, such as Edward IV, Richard Neville, Margaret of Anjou, and Henry Tudor left their mark upon the landscape of history. The War of the Roses also had significant social and economic consequences, as it led to a decline in the power of the nobility and the rise of a new class of landowners. The conflict also saw the emergence of a more modern system of warfare, with the use of artillery, cannons, and other firearms becoming increasingly common. In conclusion, the War of the Roses was a pivotal moment in English history, marking the end of the Plantagenet dynasty and the beginning of the Tudor era. Its legacy can still be seen today, from the powerful monarchs who ruled England to the modern system of government that was established during this period. As we close this chapter on the War of the Roses, we are reminded of the wise words of William Shakespeare. What's past is prologue for it. It is in understanding the complexities and challenges of the past that we can truly appreciate the present and look towards a brighter future. And so, dear listeners, our journey through the War of the Roses comes to an end. We hope you have enjoyed this epic tale of mighty armies, legendary figures, and the complex web of alliances and rivalries that defined this tumultuous period in English history. Join us next time on History with Herodotus, as we explore more fascinating stories from the annals of time. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.